Welcome back to Island Life Live. Next week is National School Psychology Week, a week to highlight the important work our school psychologists and other educators do to help our students thrive.
Now with us in our hale, our school psychologist, Amanda Garrett from North Central District, right?
Yeah.
And we also have Lynette Cantere from the Department of Education, Honolulu District. It's so awesome. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
Yeah, ladies.
I love how you guys are wearing Christmas colors today. That's awesome.
Wow, just skip the turkey, huh?
Amanda, I got to be honest with you. I had no idea that schools had psychologists. Yeah. When I was growing up, back in the old days, I know my teacher and I knew the vice principal because I got in trouble a lot. So this is awesome. I'm so glad to learn that we have this support system for our students because it's super important. Now, what do you folks do, and how important is it to set up our students for success?
Yeah, well, it's a great question. The school psychology position is a really unique position because we're experts in both psychology and education. So we have a really unique skill set that we're trained to implement in the schools. So it's good. We can bring a lot to our teams, and our goal is always to provide psychoeducational support for students in need. And what that means is students who are struggling educationally, we look to see what kind of supports they may need to succeed in school. And we can do that through a lot of different routes. We do a lot of consultation with educators. It can be school counselors, student service coordinators, teachers, administrators, to try to maybe put interventions in place for students who are struggling in their areas of need. But sometimes that's not enough, and so we might move forward and do an evaluation to determine if a student might have an educational disability and possibly might need special education services. So that's a big part of our role as well. I know many of us do a lot of training and professional development for different schools for the faculty and staff, and a lot of times we also do work at the systems level, which means it affects all students in a school or maybe even the district level. So it just depends. The actual job itself looks different depending on where you work. It can vary from school to school, district to district.
The needs of the students, right?
Absolutely. But overall, what we do is, like I said, we put the supports in place to help students succeed educationally, and not only to learn in school, but to become lifelong learners.
Got it.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
Now, Lynette, there are a number of students that are dealing with anxiety, depression, a lot, especially since now we're talking about it more often, right? In the public, mental health issues and stuff like that. And at the same time, Hawaii schools are also dealing with a shortage of school psychologists, educators. I mean, we're talking, more than a 40% vacancy? Is that correct? How does that impact you in your job right now?
Well, so when we're short on these positions, right, there's certain things that need to get done. And so, a lot of us are giving up our lunch breaks or our, coffee breaks or, short breaks. And, because we want to get it done and get what needs to be done. And it also does put a strain on other folks because we do have some shared duties. Like there's, in our school-based behavioral health staff, the individuals have certain duties that, their role does, but there's other shared duties, especially when we look at consultation for students that are having emotional and behavioral challenges. So, with shortages in more than just our area and other areas, it does put a lot of onus on the folks that are working. So in my district, I actually help to coordinate some of the coverage, and I see the impact on my colleagues too.
Yeah.
Because it does.
It's a strain on you
folks. It's a strain,
yeah. Absolutely.
So we want to support the students in our schools and get what needs to be done. So.
But you still got to self-care so that you can continue to do that job, right?
Yeah. So if we could, if we could fill those vacancies, then it would just really help everybody's mental health.
Yeah. So how can we attract people to fill these positions?
It's tough. Not only do we need to recruit school psychologists in Hawaii, but we also need to retain them.
Yeah.
So we really need to focus on both of them. And it's a difficult issue because the school psychology, it's a pretty advanced graduate degree, and we come out of it with significant student loan debt. And, we come into these jobs, and unfortunately, as of right now, the pay for the job in Hawaii is significantly less than for a school psych job on the mainland. And what's happening is because of the lack lack of local school psych grad programs right now here in Hawaii, we're recruiting most of our school psychs from the mainland. But see, the problem is the job's not appealing to them because they make
High cost of living.
significantly less money. I would say the national average on the mainland, they make about $40 an hour more than school psychs in Hawaii. And in California, it's about $70 more an hour than we make. So it's significant.
But we do need to get the word out there that there is a need here in Hawaii.
There's such a
and
need.
hopefully there are people that are watching that who may even change their career track to say, hey, you know, I'd like to stay here in Hawaii. I want to stay home. Maybe this is a place that I can go to and get this advanced schooling so that I can stay here in Hawaii to work.
And the good news is Chaminade University is starting a school psych grad program. So in another maybe year or so, they will be graduating their first cohort. So that should help a lot as well.
That is
Awesome.
Amanda, Lynette, thank you guys so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And thank you for all you do to malama our keiki in our schools. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank